to cover the team. Obviously, you just heard from Jalen Celestin and Grant Newell, and I'll start with Grant Newell. What an outstanding game. What an absolute outstanding game by Grant Newell. And he did it with skill, he did it with energy, and he did it with heart. He had a double-double in 28, 29 minutes, 10 rebounds. You know, when we were struggling to get a spark, it was Grant Newell coming up with a huge play, a reverse layup, you know, a shot in transition, you know. Just, I can't say enough about how focused Grant Newell is and what a huge part of this team he is. Jalen Celestin, you know, one of our brothers in arms went out. Jalen Tyson went out with something, and everyone on the team stepped up. Jalen Celestin, we put the ball in his hands, and Jalen Celestin made play after play after play. He's experienced, he doesn't get rattled. He's a guy who really has great body control, and he's able to get angles to the basket where he can score with his left hand. So I was really proud of those guys. I was proud of every single player on our team. And you talk about a tough game, this is a rivalry for a reason. Stanford came out and just had our heads spinning. They were back cutting us, they were flex cutting us, they were scoring at will on certain sets. And so you got to give them a lot of credit because that's a great basketball team, very well coached with great players. And look, this was a close game. It went our way tonight, but that's a really talented basketball team in Stanford.
Mark, when you got hired, you said this would become a tough ticket, and tonight you had 8,700 people here. Could you just talk about the atmosphere and how that impacted the game and your team?
Yeah, we're not going to stop until we're selling this place out consistently. We're not stopping. The administration isn't stopping, the players aren't stopping, and we're not stopping as a staff. And we're going to continue to build this thing. The staff is always out recruiting. You saw Matt Stravinsky wasn't here. He's on an international recruiting assignment. And he's sacrificing for the betterment of the team. You know, he was able to put all of his work in earlier in the week in preparation for Stanford. But this is the staff that works, this is the staff that grinds, and you got to give just a huge thank you to our fans and our administration that, number one, the fans for coming out, and then number two, administration for making this a great place to be, an unbelievable venue, making it fun for everybody.
You had 1 million students here tonight. What did that feel like?
Well, it felt great. You know, you had students from all across campus. You know, you had some fraternities and sororities here. You had different clubs and groups here. You had an unbelievable turnout from the Cal band, which we were invited to the big Cal band gala. It was an unbelievable dinner. Hundreds of people in a big ballroom up at the International House, if I'm not mistaken. But the band is a huge part of this university. Just giving the atmosphere to where it's just a lot of fun. And so just gratitude to everybody who came out, and let's continue to invite them out.
Well, before I ask you about your emotions, I will ask you to make one discerning difference between Cal and Stanford, the bands.
Look, I love both bands.
Oh, come on, don't play that diplomatic.
No. I love both bands. And you know, I think, you know, the Stanford band has always been, you know, it's controversial in a good way. The Stanford band's going to push the envelope. I remember the story when I was there is the band leader got up on a United flight and made a signal, and everyone in the band went to the back right of the plane. The plane dipped a little bit. Well, the band got completely banned from going on United at that point. You know, and thankfully there were no safety issues. But then the Cal band, it's just the energy, you know, the passion, just the talent when they play. I mean, it's phenomenal, and it's just great to see those guys.
2 days ago when you were here, you said you really hadn't gotten the emotion that you would get today. What emotions did you have today, and when did they hit?
Look, there's going to be emotion. You know, there's emotion on both sides. Look, Jared Haas spent his freshman year here at Cal. You know, I graduated from Stanford. I mean, there's emotion on both sides. There's emotion on both sides, and it's Jared and I have known each other, you know, for a long time, and he's just a great person and a great coach. And so there's personal relationships, there's shared history on both sides, and you know, I'm sure for Jerry coming into Haas Pavilion, there's emotion, and then you know, in a month when I go over to Maples, there's going to be even more because he spent a lot of time here, blood, sweat, and tears on the court, just like I did over there.
What's some of the feedback that Jalen Tyson gave his teammates when he was not able to be out there and playing?
Oh, Jalen Tyson was incredibly involved in the huddles. He's talking to the guys. He's coaching them. He's telling them what he sees. in terms of, openings, just different reads that are going to be available. He was a second coach on the court. Jalen Tyson, even though he wasn't playing in the game, he was hugely involved in every huddle. He was hugely involved.
Can you tell us how he is and what the nature of what took him out of the game?
Yeah, that will be an update that we'll get to later. I think the medical people are still working. I would certainly hope that it's not a long-term thing.
More than a cramp, though?
Let's wait and get the full diagnosis. You got a question?
Okay, yeah. So Mark, since you represent both schools,
Yeah.
how gratifying is it for you that this conference that you love is falling apart, but you guys will be together in the ACC? And LA is the only other one that has a travel partner come with it.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that?
No, it's upsetting and it's sad that the Pac-12, I go to the Pac-10. It's upsetting and it's sad that it fell apart. I remember when it happened, I was upset. I was upset because it's a great conference. When I was coming up, it was the Thursday, Saturday games, and you're going to great places. You're going to Seattle and then Pullman, Washington. You're going to Corvallis and Eugene. You're going to LA, and you're staying there. But Stanford and Cal, during this process, they were joined at the hip. They were working together. And I'm sure as we move forward, I don't know the exact details. Jim Knowlton would know that, but I'm sure there's going to be cooperation on the scheduling. Different ways to cooperate on some of those long trips. I think everything's being explored.
39, even on the glass. Fardaws, I think, was a leading rebounder the entire game. Just talk with the effort that your team showed on the glass to keep it even, because they rebound well too. Yeah.
Stanford rebounds incredibly well. Fardaws, AMAC, I can't say enough about it. We hit a drought where we couldn't throw a ball into the ocean. Kind of in that late in the first half, and we gave it to Fardaws on the block, and he just came through. He was aggressive. He wasn't settling. He was using power moves, and then he's a walking rebound. Fardaws AMAC is a walking rebound. He's one of the best in the world at rebounding. And it's a skill that's going to serve him well in his professional career.
Mark, did you enjoy the coaching in a suit and tie?
No. No. This will be the one game that we do this year. It's, I'm worried I'm going to, you recruit so much, you got a lot of things to manage. There's might be 5 extra pounds. I'm worried I'm going to split something on this suit, so you got to get a little bit more flexibility.
Coach, 9 turnovers in the first 27 minutes of the game, none in the last 13. What did you see from the guys out there?
You just have to give the players credit. I mean, you guys saw Celestine and Grant up here. They've early in the season, we were turning the ball over too much. It was too much. It wasn't giving us a chance on offense, and then it was creating a few too many live ball turnovers when teams were just going down and scoring an uncontested basket at the other end. And so our guys have really locked in on that, where they're policing each other. A player-led team is the best thing you have. It's one thing to have a coach and a coaching staff, encouraging our guys, don't turn it over. But when they start doing it, when the players start policing each other, which is what we've seen with our guys on this stretch, that's when things become powerful. Now, we have to continue to do it. We can't have lapses, we can't have breakdowns, but it's been very encouraging to see.
And then 6 guys scoring in double figures. How important is it to get other guys outside of Tyson and Cohen going early?
Well, that's huge. It's huge. Guys were called upon to play different positions. When Jalen Tyson went out, early in the season, we had some injuries, we had some eligibility things, and so we were shuffling guys around in different positions. And that was a challenge. And then tonight, a little bit, we were forced to do it also. And guys just stepped up and embraced new positions. We were diagramming plays that we've run the whole season, but just putting guys in positions where they really haven't gotten too many reps, and they just responded very well.
All right, Mark, midway through conference play, and then of course the regular season before that, how do you feel about your position right now? Did you think that you would be at this point, or did you think you had room for improvement?
No, I thought we would have many more wins. That was our expectation. That was our goal. We had some adversity. We had some injuries. We had some curveballs. But ultimately, it's on me. We've had a bunch of close games. And when it's all said and done, myself as the head coach, I have to be better. And it's been a lot of late nights in film. It's been a lot of meetings with the staff trying to scratch and claw and get better. I thought we'd have many more wins. That being said, I love our team. And we're all growing and we're all improving, but that's every coach in every program. It should be every year.
Mark, thank you.
Yeah, thanks guys.